Alrighty.
Well, good morning, Mr. Todd.
Hey AJ, how's it going?
It is definitely going.
Finally.
It's been an interesting morning, covering some other cases and whatnot here at the Lincoln County Courthouse. Thank you for coming out and meeting with me.
Oh yeah, no problem. I was here anyway. I was a witness in another case, so it's all good.
So I did want to give you a chance to have an opportunity to kind of put a word out to the public. I'm sure you saw that interview I did with Miss Robin and Greg the other week.
Yeah. I really liked that interview. Kind of off the cuff, and I think it was a great way to get to know Robin and Craig away from all the static of what's going on, and really letting us know who they are. There was a few concerns I had where you did ask Greg about the letters Dan had sent to the tribe, and he said something to the effect of, did he go too far, and then didn't really answer the question.
Right.
And that's always been my contention with the city, is I don't think there's any oversight of the city manager. I think one person has too much power, and I've been accused of many things. I've been accused of, oh, you and your Beachcomber organization, I'm not with Beachcombers. You and your Justice for Walport, I'm not with Justice for Walport. Mm-hmm. Well, you and Township 13, okay, I'm on the board of Township 13. You got 1 out of 3 right. And the only reason I came here was because I felt Dan was bullying one of my neighbors at one point.
Right.
And all I wanted to do was talk to the council about it. And I thought, and again, I was coming to those council meetings 2 months before Beachcombers had their issues. And that's been my contention the whole time, is I think the city manager has too much power. And I'm not out to get the city council at all.
Right.
All I want them to do is provide oversight to the city manager so that one person isn't the judge, jury, executioner of a that decision, those decision powers should not be under one person. I don't care what the charter says.
And I think that is a great point. There's a reason that our government is set up into 3 branches to divide that power so that no one person has ultimate power.
Right.
Ultimate power corrupts absolutely, they say. Or absolute power corrupts absolutely, they say. So, what do you think would be a good step to bring some more oversight to the city manager?
Well, when I look at the situation, there's lots of rumors and hearsay going around with all the different organizations, and it's come to such a head that I believe looking at concrete facts and evidence is the only way to go.
Right.
And Dan's emails to the tribe and to the district attorney and the sheriff's office, his words clearly show that he does not believe that there should be a balance of power, or that he doesn't understand it. And I don't think he's a bad guy. From what I hear, he's secured a lot of grants for our city, which, okay, I saved the taxpayers' money by securing more taxpayer money, but okay, thank you. I guess it came out of my federal taxes as opposed to my local taxes, so that, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think the problem I see is that he has been provided no oversight for so long that he does not realize that his actions are because no one's told him.
Right.
And that's the council's job. They're just not doing it. And what I would like to see is the council just say, hey, here's the facts and evidence. You said these things. We need to now hold you accountable. Mm-hmm. We need to go a different direction. And I would really like to see that from the city council. But all I've seen is doubling down and saying, nope, everything's fine. Dan did what we told him to. okay.
The best I have heard, which was kind of a pointed note, I think, from Miss Woodruff, I believe it was, is that they were going to discuss it later in that meeting, and then they decided that a month from now they will have a discussion about it.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that doesn't seem like accountability is being had, or that there's much concern from the council either.
Yeah. And Susan's a great example of, bless her heart, she has served for so long in so many different roles for the city. But again, it's there's no oversight, and all we're doing, and I think the relationship she has with the city manager is great, that they have that connection, but if she can't put their friendship and their history aside and hold him accountable, she should not be a city councilor.
Right. There's a legal term for that, a conflict of interest.
Yes.
So
You're not wrong.
So, well, I do just gotta ask one more thing here. We've discussed here that Dan reached out to the Siletz tribe, to the district attorney, to the sheriff's office, but something I did not get as on point as I should have with Mr. Dunn the other week is the personal attack against you on social media. That was beyond trying to seek justice for anything or anyone, in my opinion. I just don't even know what to ask, because it's the suggested accusation there was so heavy and really outrageous that I am appalled personally that the city council did not speak to this. And just for my audience here, Mr. Todd here is a former law enforcement officer and correctional officer who recounted a experience he had in his career where he was gathering evidence to prosecute a child predator. I forget some of the details after that. You put in the evidence.
Yeah, essentially the evidence got thrown out in the evidence hearing, and the whole point of me bringing that up was, even though it got thrown out and I believe the evidence was concrete, I did my job as the executioner, or the executive part of the branch, judge, jury, executioner, and it wasn't my job to email the judge and the DA and the public defender and the person's family and be, oh, you need to do more, you need to prosecute this, you need to do this, you need to approve that evidence. That's not your job as the executor or of the case, because you are not to tell the judge or the jury what to do. Your job is to present the evidence, so that no one person is the judge, jury, and executioner, which I think is the issue in Walpole. So,
well, thank you for that.
Yeah, and as far as the personal attack, shows more of his character than mine. So, and I had about 10, 12 different people either texting me or sending me messenger messages saying, I can't believe you did that, this and that, you should, and I said, look, if that's how he feels, fine. He's just showing that he doesn't truly understand the justice system. And if he wants to attack me like that, Dan claims he didn't take the comments down, but for some reason they disappeared.
And it's been my experience on the Walport Free Speech page, the forum you've made for people to express themselves. You do not remove comments unless they violate some specific rules, mostly involving children or anything else.
Yeah, you cannot talk about minors specifically. Like, you can say, hey, I took my kid to the beach.
But don't be name dropping.
But yeah, don't be name dropping other people's kids and saying, oh, they got a scholarship for this or that, Yeah, don't do that. And then no threats of physical violence.
Obviously.
Yeah,
obviously.
which would violate the First Amendment.
Right.
You know, so pretty cut and dry.
Pretty
Yeah.
easy to follow and allows for a lot of free speech and free thought.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So I fortunately took screenshots of his comments, and then when they were removed somehow, I was able to repost them
Mhm.
and say, hey, here you go. And you know, the people that reached out to me, you know, going, I can't believe he did that. And, you know, who does he think he is? I just said, look, I reposted them to put him out there to show what kind of person. Like I said, it shows more of his character than mine.
It
So
really
and
does.
I think the ironic part was at the last council meeting, I yielded the remainder of my time to him so he could critique my law enforcement or military career even more if he wanted to, and he said nothing. So,
Well, if you're gonna say it online, you should be able to say it to someone's face.
true, and that was actually I can't remember the exact post, but Counselor Dunn and I were going back and forth one day.
Okay.
And on the forum, and you know, he made some mention, and I don't think he was accusing me directly, but he said, you know, you people, and I think he was talking about the people that post generally on there that don't like the city's actions, ganging up on us and posting stuff online. And I had responded to his comment saying, I do show up at the city council meetings every month, let you know in person. So, you know,
It's not like I'm coming at you and getting a cheap shot online.
yeah, it's not like you don't know what subject I'm going to bring up.
Right. Right.
So,
Well, speaking of, just keep sending a point of mine home. I'm sure you're aware that I've got a stickler for the anonymous records request and the denial of those at Walport. And a big part of the reason I am advocating for that is so that people can feel free to make a records request without fear of retaliation from their government employees. What could I just get your opinion on that?
well, I think coming from the perspective of the First Amendment, an anonymous records request should be allowed, and that's actually come up on the free speech forum where some people say, hey, you shouldn't allow anonymous participants because they can say or do whatever. And freedom of speech in this country, it doesn't mean that you don't have to listen to stupid people. People are going to say stupid things.
Yeah.
But when it comes to anonymity, it is totally covered under the First Amendment. Not only is it covered, the people that wrote the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, they wrote under a pen name in the Federalist Papers, and the pen name was Libertad, so that the British couldn't find out who they were.
Figure your mouth, yeah.
So it was essentially the colonial version of Facebook posting anonymously. So if it was good enough for the forefathers, you know, and then the intent, I believe the intent of the First Amendment is that it does cover anonymous comments and anonymous records requests. That's my take on it.
That's actually a perspective I have not heard before on that, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Something to think about.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, I think we probably spent enough time here today. Let's wrap it up and get out of here.
All right. Good
It's
to
good
see you.
talking with you.
All right, you too.
And thank you for the interview.
All right, have a good one.